last December, Hyundai gave us a chance to see the new Santa Fe up close before today's launch. This time though, what you're now seeing is a Philippine spec model that's headed to your nearest Hyundai dealer.
So join us today to see the new Hyundai Santa Fe and let's see how this car performs on this test track along with whatever feature this car has to offer both inside and outside the vehicle. So this is the new Hyundai Santa Fe, completely new from the ground up, as well as sporting a completely new look. Some of its highlights include the H-shaped design cues around the vehicle, the active grille shutters, and of course its boxy shape, just to name a few. So, as you've seen in the exterior, the car looks radically different compared to the previous Santa Fe, and being a Hyundai, it has a lot of H-shaped motif sa kanyang exterior design, and as you're gonna see eventually in the interior as well. So what do you think of the car's looks?
First look, totoo yung na sobrang unique niya sa market niya, dito sa segment niya. Basically, dahil nga sobrang box type niya. Kahit sa malayo, kita-kita mo para siyang parang lilitaw siya maigi.
So basically what you're pertaining to is the car stands out on the road because of the boxy proportions niya, no?
So
would you agree, Zeke?
I would agree, yeah.
What do you think then as well of the Santa Fe's looks, by the way? Oh, by the way, introduction lang pala, this is Zeke from Kailong Cars, one of our friends as well in the media circle, and yeah, what do you think of the Santa Fe?
I do quite like the looks, especially because it kind of has the same design language as like the Ioniq 5 and the Ioniq 6. It's got that kind of 80s retro but futuristic.
Agree actually. It's actually the thing with the Santa Fe, parang it's sort of blending retro with modern looks. Kaya it looks really different and unique compared to the usual curvy, rounded crossovers. And so I think one of the highlights of the Santa Fe is the H-shaped motif niya, no? Yung kanyang mga, basically the headlights, the taillights have this H-shape nga, as mentioned kanina. That sort of gives it a unique identity
It's
on the
basically,
road, no?
it's basically everywhere kasi dito sa interior din, you're going to see a lot of age here. Sa aircon niya, sa lights niya dito sa harap, parang yun yung nagiging main highlight siguro ng car. Kasi punong-puno siya nung feature na yun.
Even here, by the way, in the seats, you're gonna see the H-shaped pattern din sa seat, sandalan niya. So, interesting design detail. How about the back? Gusto naman.
Same as well.
So, Hyundai is really paying a lot of, doing a lot of interesting design cues with the Santa Fe here. And in terms of the features, you have this dual 12.3-inch screens here. And compared to the past software, this is a new software by the way for Hyundai. The minimalist look na flat yung interface. It looks really sleek, very responsive to your inputs actually. And then this car also has a nice premium feel because of the soft touch materials on the dash, the doors. And how about this? I think one of the highlights of the Santa Fe is the dual hinged console niya and where you can open it from the back. Other things to note in the new Santa Fe is the dual sunroof and yeah, of course the two wireless charging pads here in the front because Hyundai has moved the shift-by-wire shifter to the steering column. So it's kind of like the one in the Ioniq 5 and the Ioniq 6. Yeah, based on the boxy shape, I would assume that there's a lot of room din sa likod no?
Yep.
Absolutely. It's really spacious here in the back of the Santa Fe. So you're gonna see then later the trunk. By the way, what we're in right now is the calligraphy variant. So this is the range-topping version. The other two variants are the GLS, two-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. But in terms of the basic specs naman, they're pretty similar. Of course, there's gonna be a few features na wala sa GLS, but for the most part, they do look similar, which is important kasi, well, we want naman our premium SUV to feel nice pa rin, even at 2.5 million pesos, which is the price of the GLS. So, by the way, let's step out of the Santa Fe because I'm gonna show you something that's unique to this car.
So as you can see, we have here yung grab handle, and this is very helpful kasi you can use this para mahila mo yung sarili mo paakyat kapag may mga gamit ka dito sa taas. And as you can see, napakatibay niya. Ako po ay 78 kilos and it's very sturdy. And if you're curious bakit ang baba ng taillight niya, dahil yan para malaki yung opening ng trunk niya. Diba? It's very spacious. sobrang luwag. Kasya ako dito.
For the full specs of all Santa Fe variants, you can read our article on goflatOutPH.com. Pero bago natin pag-usapan yung kanang driving experience, let's first talk about engines. The GLS variants get a 2.5-liter non-turbo gasoline engine, while the range-topping calligraphy we have here gets a 2.5-liter turbocharged gasoline engine.
One thing to note about this car is the 2.5 turbo engine, which we're gonna be feeling later kung ano yung pakiramdam niya in terms of yung kanyang attack. But now we're gonna be in a slalom course where we're gonna be testing out the maneuverability of this mid-size crossover SUV. So actually, kahit it's on the larger end among crossovers, it's actually a very maneuverable car. Steering is light, but I like the fact that it isn't too light. So no need to use a 360 camera since it's a maneuverable car naman. So this, by the way, uses an 8-speed dual clutch transmission, so we expect smooth shifts and rapid shifts. So we're curious as well how the transmission will perform in the city. But for now, this is what we're gonna be doing with the Santa Fe. That's strong torque. Like that.
So now we're going to take the brand new Hyundai Santa Fe on a little light off-road. No?
So far, it's pretty good. Again, this is a unibody crossover SUV. So, itong environment is sakto lang for its size. It's a light off-road course, but at least if you do plan to take your Santa Fe on a glamping trip, mga ganyan, this is gonna suffice. And of course, being a unibody crossover SUV, it's still it still feels very good to drive on road. Car-like pa rin siya and will ride much better compared to a body-on-frame truck-based SUV. So there are various drive modes, by the way, sa Santa Fe where you can tweak the settings of the four-wheel drive system. Saka dahil lang car-like ng kanyang pakiramdam, even if you're here in off-road, you're not jostled around masyado.
For more information on the new Hyundai Santa Fe, you can read our article at goflatOutPH.com. So, based on our first impressions, the new Hyundai Santa Fe has a lot of character, mostly because of its distinct looks, well thought out interior, along with its comfortable driving demeanor. We can't wait to take this car out on a much longer drive, but for the meantime, you can now visit the nearest Hyundai dealer to see the brand new Santa Fe.